just an update on the King Charles health situation. He's set to undergo surgery this week, we believe, after he revealed details about an enlarged prostate. Revelations led to thousands of men reaching out to their doctors and online searches on the rise.
Well, Emma Craske is a senior specialist nurse at Prostate Cancer UK, and she joins us now. Good morning to you. Good to see you. Look, there's a good news story in here, isn't there? And so typical of His Majesty to turn a personal crisis into something for the good of the country. And I suppose really great to see more people sitting up and taking notice of this.
Absolutely, it's fantastic, and it's so important that men are curious about their prostates and prostate health so that they can inform themselves further. And it's absolutely fantastic to hear that people are searching out information. And if people do want any information about any prostate problem, actually, they can go to our website, which is prostatecanceruk.org.
Now, it is a delicate part of the body and, you know, it is breakfast time. So without going into too much graphic detail, just explain a little bit about, you know, how serious a procedure this is and how quickly His Majesty can get back to work. Because we know, as the Sun's saying this morning on their front page, he's a bit of a workaholic and the Queen is concerned that he really ought to slow down.
So there are numerous different ways that they can effectively widen the water pipe. And so I can't speculate specifically on what procedure that he will have had done. But the whole idea of these type of procedures is to make life easier for men. And hopefully he'll make these procedures are very routine, and hopefully he will make a speedy recovery. And ultimately, all of these procedures are done to make men's lives more easier, so that they're not having to rush to the loo quickly, feeling like they've emptied their bladder and then having to go back a few minutes later, having to wee more regularly, especially at night. And you can imagine that those kind of symptoms could have quite an impact on how men live their lives. So hopefully he'll make a speedy recovery, and life will be easier for him, as for any man who's had this type of procedure.
And more men than they may reckon will be affected by this, Emma. Is it an inevitable sign of ageing?
It's not necessarily inevitable. As men get older, their prostates do tend to get bigger with more normal prostate cells. So this is a benign condition. But for some men, the enlargement starts to get big enough to press on the water pipe that runs right through the middle of the prostate. So not every man will have problems, but it's almost a normal part of aging for men's prostates to get bigger as they get older.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Emma is a senior specialist nurse in prostate cancer.
Yeah, and we're not entirely sure when His Majesty's having this procedure, but of course, it goes without saying we wish him all the very best.